Thanks for joining us for CBN's On the Home Front, where we highlight what the men and women of America's military do to defend our country. I'm Mark Martin. It's hard to believe the Christmas season is already behind us. America's military went above and beyond to show their spirit of giving. This year was the 68th year of Operation Christmas Drop. The world's longest-running humanitarian airdrop training mission provides critical supplies to 56 Micronesian islands. The annual tradition delivers food, tools, supplies, and clothing to nearly 20,000 people. This year, 176 bundles of supplies were dropped from C-130 aircraft crews. The aerial delivery necessary for Operation Christmas Drop also serves as valuable training and allows air crews to practice dynamic delivery airlift onto UN-surveyed drop zones.
This mission today, we get given an area that we're supposed to drop at, and we have to go and have a look at the area, make sure it's suitable, make sure it's safe, make sure that the local people are going to be able to retrieve the bundles. We don't get a lot of experience in, so good training for us for sure.
Allied partners from Japan, Australia, and New Zealand also participated in the expedition. Each year, the organization Wreaths Across America sets out to honor and remember our fallen servicemen and women. More than 38,000 volunteers came together before Christmas to lay wreaths on headstones at Arlington National Cemetery in Washington, D.C. More than 250,000 wreaths were laid across the 624 acres of the cemetery. And the laying of wreaths did not just happen in D.C., but took place at more than 2,000 locations across the country. And we have a special look at this year's wreath-laying ceremony.
I want to thank you all for being here today. All right, we've got a big task in front of us today.
Yeah, coming out to do Wreaths Across America at Arlington National Cemetery is a very important event. It means a lot to me. I served some time in the Marine Corps, so it's just a really great sight to see thousands of people to come out to an event like this. Everybody together, everybody really appreciating what our servicemen and women have done in the past.
CBN honors the men and women in our military with an initiative called Helping the Home Front. It partners with churches across the country to meet the needs of their military families, from repairing homes to providing financial support to wiping out medical bills for wounded veterans. Hurricane Michael in 2018 was the strongest one to hit the United States in decades, and the home of retired vet Garth Sinclair was directly in its path. How will he rebuild, and how will he pay for it? Thankfully, Garth did not have to worry about those questions for long.
Nearly a year after Hurricane Michael pounded the Florida Gulf Coast, victims are still trying to recover. Among them are retired Navy Master Chief Garth Sinclair and his wife Sandy and children. Garth had retired after 22 years, just a few months before the storm. The family looked forward to starting a new chapter in Panama City, Florida. Instead, their home was destroyed and is still unlivable today. The Sinclairs are not alone.
It's heartbreaking. I mean, it's been so many months, and there are so many places that haven't even been touched, and there are so many people hurting.
I think that the worst part was the uncertainty, the what next. All of the questions that start to pile up in your mind, it just overwhelms you. Every day it was, we don't know. And there were more questions every day, and the answers were still, we don't know. It's been tough. It's been really hard.
To make things worse, the base where Garth worked as a government contractor was forced to close after the storm. Garth went without a paycheck for 2 months. Plus, their homeowner's insurance didn't cover nearly all their losses. The couple leaned on each other and their faith in God.
I couldn't even get out of bed in the morning without the hope that my faith brings. God's got us. He's going to take care of us. We don't know what that's going to look like, that God's not going to let us fall.
Garth and Sandy's prayers were answered when Bay Point Church in Panama City contacted CBN's Helping the Homefront for assistance.
Hey guys. Hey.
Pastor Ben Lyles invited the couple over to give them some good news.
So the first thing that I want to tell you is everything that's out of your pocket that the insurance didn't cover, we're going to be covering for you.
Wow, that's like a huge burden lifted.
There's more. Due to the stress that your family has been under, we're also going to be covering approximately 2 months of your loss of wages and the income that you had as a result of the hurricane. And we're going to help you recover to kind of give you guys the ability to breathe. We want to provide you guys some margin in life.
It's just overwhelming. We're just kind of struggle through this whole situation like everybody else, and trying not to be a burden to anybody else either, in our struggle. It's gonna change our outlook. It's gonna change our outlook. It's gonna help our family a lot.
A few weeks later, work began on their home. Garth and Sandy were able to pay the contractors without going into debt.
This seems like the light at the end of the tunnel. It will definitely help us to move forward. A lot of the burden is behind us. All of those questions that, the answer seemed to be, I don't know. The answer is yes, we'll be okay. Thanks to CBN.
After the break, we hear from military members in the U.S. Air Force on what they hope to overcome in the new year.
If you want to be an attorney with a passion for serving people and for excellence, Regent University needs to be high on your list.
Regent's award-winning law school doesn't just create lawyers. We create leaders, judges, prosecutors and defense lawyers, civil litigators, and leaders in government. Ready to become a purpose-driven, practice-ready lawyer? To start your rewarding career, complete the online application, submit your transcripts, and take the law school admissions test by July.
Nutrition, exercise, essential oils, weight loss, and more. It's Healthy Living with Lori Johnson.
Talk about what's in this.
Join CBN health reporter Lori Johnson to get the latest information from today's top health experts.
This is fantastic.
Find out what you need to know to live a healthier life. Watch Healthy Living, Tuesday night at 9:30.
Woohoo! Hi, Superbook fans. Here's something else you'll love. Whoa! It's the new Superbook Bible app. It's packed with games, activities, and Superbook episodes that you can watch for free. Oh no! There's trivia, a fun daily devotional, and answers to your Bible questions. Plus, an easy-to-understand Bible the whole family will enjoy. You can even create your own Superbook character. Ta-da! Whoa!
No super balls, man.
Sorry, pardon me. Sorry, excuse me. Ouch!
Are you getting this?
Earn super points to win daily prizes, too. And so much more! Time to get back to my adventures. See you soon! It's the new Superbook Bible app. Free downloads on iTunes, Google Play, and Amazon.
It's like a great attraction. It's like
Welcome back to On the Home Front. As we move forward into the new year, the Air Force wants to make sure airmen are finding their place where they belong. Leadership, supervisors, and peers have one message for any airmen out there struggling right now, and that is, there is hope. Don't give up.
I feel people have helped me multiple times in my life. And it helps me know that my life is worth something. I'm doing something right. I'm living for a purpose.
Patience, compassion, and mercy for every single person and every single situation that you have. The mission is the mission, maintenance is maintenance, everybody's busy, but those work is a distraction from helping somebody who's in need. And you would never know unless you listen to a person as they communicate to you. It may be on the job.
It's a hard step to step out of the people, the support structure that you know, and say, hey, I'm struggling with this. Some people want the privacy action, and so there's many of our counselors are very private, and you can go talk to them, and they, by law, can't communicate what you've shared with them. Sometimes it's just the support structure where you put your arm around your spouse or your kids and say, hey, I'm having a tough time today.
I used to get road rage when I was younger, and I realized that, somebody makes a mistake on the road, and I'm sitting here thinking, well, I had a great day, and this guy's in my way, going slow. Well, maybe they had a bad day. Maybe it's their first time out driving on the road. So everybody else has their backstory. I think if you learned just an inch of their backstory, might help you or him or her get closer to that other person and just have a little more, hey, this person's a person. They really, maybe I'm here, maybe I can help them. Maybe they can help me with something.
We're doing more with less. And sometimes people don't think we have that moment to pause. You have to practice the pause. And that's probably the hardest thing that I've learned when I went through resilience training and just learning all of these different things is to practice the pause. Like, I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna listen. When I say, hey, how are you doing? I'm not gonna already be halfway down the hall and someone could be like, oh my gosh, I'm so sad. And I wasn't there to hear it. To pause, and I know it's weird at first, you have to practice it and say, hey, how are you? And most people will be like, oh, I'm just fine. No, but genuinely, how are you doing? I haven't talked to you. What's going on? How are your kids? How's your wife? How's your, how's snowboarding? Ask those questions. You have to take that pause, but you have to practice that pause and you have to practice that listening. It's not something for most people that just come naturally.
Social media has taken something from us that only we can give back to each other, and that's communication. Face to face, heart to heart communication. Yes, it allows us to communicate all over the world, but it's better to look a person in their eyes and understand, hey, what are you really going through?
Now, I did go to dark places and I do get depressed. It happens. But it's one of those things where as I'm trying to rebuild myself and regain strength, it's why am I here? Why do I exist? What things beyond me personally give me strength, and where do I find strength? And for me, that's in others.
You have those people that will support you, whether it's your spouse's squadron that are tight-knit and try and help you and bring you in as family, whether it's the friends that you meet at a play date or your coworkers. They are there for you and they want to provide that hope for you, and as long as you're willing to accept it and embrace hope, it's available to you.
Up next, a colonel shares his personal journey, including one of the hardest obstacles his family faced and how the military stepped in to help.
Introducing the CBN Bible from CBN.com. Now, an easier way to study the Bible and grow in your faith. Highlight your favorite verse. Read separate versions at a glance. Click and read a commentary. or cross-reference your favorite verse using the Strong's Concordance. All the right tools to study the Bible, all in one place. The CBN Bible, available at cbn.com/Bible or the iTunes App Store.
This is CBN News Watch.
Thanks for joining us.
Watch breaking news, exclusive stories and programs, credible news reporting.
We show you what's happening in the world and how you can pray about it.
This is CBN News Watch, because truth matters. Weekdays at 5 on the CBN News Channel.
Yes, right on time.
From Superbook.
Pepper's Pizza Palace is donating pizza for everyone today.
Wait. I have big plans today.
Trust in God even when times are tough. He has a plan for your life.
Hey, we're gonna be late for the grand opening.
My parents want me to help with this outreach thing, feeding the community. What am I supposed to do here? Superbook!
Join the Superbook Club and get Superbook The Birth of Moses, plus 2 copies to share with others, all for your gift of only $25.
Pharaoh ordered all newborn Hebrew boys thrown into the Nile River, and I have a 3-month-old brother.
The Birth of Moses. Yours for a gift of only $25.
What will you do the next time the soldiers come? I do not know, but I trust God has a plan for all of us.
Superbook Club members, free streaming for seasons 1, 2, and 3 is now available.
Roman soldiers destroy the Second Temple of Jerusalem. Centuries of eyewitnesses say the temple treasures survived. But where are they?
They went from Jerusalem to Rome, Rome to Carthage, Carthage to Byzantium.
Historians are silent about what happened to it next.
CBN Documentaries presents the worldwide release of Treasures of the Second Temple.
So does it still exist today?
A story of mystery.
Where is it?
Calamity.
Most of the victims were butchered.
And destiny.
The possibility to dig is impossible.
Get your copy of Treasures of the Second Temple. Yours for a gift of any amount to CBN Documentaries.
You're watching On the Home Front. Military members across all branches experience challenges, and sometimes it's not just at work. Lieutenant Colonel Chad Miner shares his difficult but inspiring story. He tells how the Air Force took care of him and his family during the hardest of times.
So, big picture, I was fortunate enough to be allowed to be a commander of the 42nd Attack Squadron, an MQ-9 squadron at Creech Air Force Base. During that first year of command, my wife started to get some very unique symptoms going on. Initially, having a lot of cramping in her body. Initially, we just poked fun at it. She's 5.5 years younger than me, so I was like, yep, you have a case of the old. Welcome to the world. But then things weren't healing, things were getting worse, and then the uh-oh factor started to kick in. So we think it's this, let's try this. We think it's that, let's try that. As me and my wife in the back of our mind going, and we're kind of just biting our tongue, because each time we go to the doctor and things would get worse, we're just going, nope, let's just see what the doctor says. But things start getting more and more obvious. So we went to a hospital in Los Angeles right away. Things weren't going well. The military stepped up again and goes, nope, stay there as long as you need to. And then on May 6th of 2016, that's when the doctor told us what we kind of already knew, and we're just kind of denying that she had ALS. Life kind of changed at that time. It went from more being hey, let's balance things out, to it just came to the point where, like, who are we kidding? And things are progressing too fast. So reach out to immediately to my leadership, and my wing commander was really cool at the time, and he kind of summarized it of saying, look, we all think we're Superman, but none of us are, and we're gonna put the network around you and help you out. And my wife's health just continued to decline. Like, from the time we showed up to Langley to the time I told leadership hey, I got to go. She went from being helped to stand up to she's fully paralyzed and can't speak anymore from her waist down, and her upper body's going quick and her lungs are going quick. So started research what resources are out there, and I took up on the humanitarian assignment that AFPC offers. Within the month that I applied for it, went through the process, and next thing you know, I got orders. We're picking up and moving to Charleston Air Force Base. The military didn't turn their back on us. They provided options and put a support network around us. Time goes on, disease continued to aggressively take away from my wife until ultimately she passed away recently. I gotta watch my words here before I become a bag full of tears on you. It's my wife. My everything, when I grow old. Batman and Robin, she's Batman. Man, if you want to see determination and toughness, you should have seen how she battled this disease to the very end. I don't think she gave up. I think God said, there's no way you're going to quit, so I'm going to relieve you of your pain. And that brings happiness to me and the children. We love her. To be upfront and frank, felt like my life was perfect. My family is perfect. My wife is perfect. My world started to crumble. And the military was there with the medical support, with the resources of support, and the compassion and greater family support to help me and ultimately help my most beloved ones, my wife and my children, get through this low point. I can't put a price tag on that because the military gave me the flexibility and the tools so I can best take care of the things that truly matter to me, my wife and my children. And then at the end of the day, when we go home with a paycheck, is our value really worth that paycheck? Or is the value everything around us? And of course, to me, it's everything around us, which is more than what's on that pay stub.
Don't go anywhere. We'll be back right after the break.
When I came to Regent University, it's like the world opened up. I felt like I needed to advance my career and go back to school. Regent was a perfect fit for me. The Regent professors are world class. You are equipped. The focus of the faculty is on each individual student, whether it's online or in person. You become a part of Regent's family. You carry with you not just the content and the knowledge, but the confidence to understand that we can be significant in the world.
Regent University. Follow your path.
Nigerian Christians
in Iran are routinely arrested.
Happily, Christians continue to suffer.
In times of trial and affliction, you need to know the truth.
One of the fastest growing Christian populations in the world.
Join Wendy Griffith and George Thomas for Christian World News.
Young people are the ones who are open to the gospel.
Powerful stories of suffering and hope that affect all Christians. Watch Christian World News, Saturday at 5 p.m.
Get Protect Your Sleep and discover how to improve the quality of your life. A free DVD or booklet from the Christian Broadcasting Network.
If you're not a great sleeper, you can do things to make yourself a great sleeper. If you're already a pretty good sleeper, you can enhance your sleep and be even better.
5 leading experts help remove the obstacles between you and restorative sleep.
When you don't get a restful night's sleep, you wake up with an accumulation of stress.
Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to CBN.com to get your free DVD or booklet today.
Everything you do better with a good night's sleep.
You'll discover how food affects your sleep, how to put insomnia to rest, explore effective remedies for sleep apnea, and much more in Protect Your Sleep. Wake up to your best life and get Protect Your Sleep today. Call 1-800-700-7000 or go to CBN.com to get your free DVD or booklet.
CBN News, no filter, 24/7 news. Through the lens of faith, from natural disasters to breaking news in the Holy Land. We have access to stars in entertainment and to top newsmakers. We are fighting for your freedoms. CBN News, because truth matters. Become a CBN News member today.
Thanks for staying with On the Home Front. The Defense Department launched a new initiative in 2018 called This Is Your Military to highlight the work of service members. The initiative also has the goal of debunking myths about military service and increasing awareness among the American people. Using the hashtag #KnowYourMil, the DoD is sharing personal stories to inspire others. Sergeant Jamie Delorme turned a childhood love of performing into a career as a French horn player for the U.S. Army Europe Band.
My name is Sergeant Jamie Delorme, and I play the French horn for the United States Army here in Europe. From a very young age, I was kind of a ham, and I really liked to dance in front of large groups of people. So I would get up in front of people at weddings and dance and sing, and I loved being in front of people and performing. A band director who saw something in me, and in 8th grade he said, I have a really big challenge for you. I'd like you to learn the French horn. We don't have any French horn players in the band. I think it would be really nice. So about 2 weeks later I was playing French horn. And about 3 months later, I was winning contests on the high school level as an 8th grader on the French horn. So by far, that was my most successful instrument. So I stuck with it. Being able, now that I'm an adult, to really get that emotional response from somebody when you play something that touches them. And they're just overcome with emotion. And stuff like that is super powerful. And that's why I do what I do. Traveling to these other countries here in Europe and getting to collaborate with some of the musicians and seeing how the French might perceive music as opposed to the Germans' perception of music, as opposed to my own perception of music. Stuff like that is very fulfilling when I can collaborate like that and we can kind of have arguments, musical arguments, because music is one language. The Army's a pretty cool gig. You know, not many gigs offer you the chance to play your music every day and just be in Europe every day. So that's pretty great.
That's all for today, but you can find more of our exclusive news coverage at cbnnews.com. Hope you'll join us next time. Have a great day.